feel like that advert with the Royal Marines where they're like creeping up on the enemy paddling their little canoes. We're nearly into this lovely little beautiful secluded bay. We're going to anchor somewhere along here. Just hear the rudder touching the bottom then. You can see we're quite close. We've got, I'd say there's, well, there can only be a couple of feet, can't there? So we've just I've just weighed anchor, not weighed anchor, I've just put the anchor in and we are drifting back out again slightly. You can see. We'll just let that play out fully and I think we'll be fine. Cheese sandwiches today. Edam and Red Leicester. I got a couple of biscuits. There's heart-shaped things, a Liebkuchen, which I've eaten all my life. But yeah, they're quite nice. They're kind of like German, Polishy biscuits, kind of cakey biscuits with a little filling in them. They're really lovely. If you're not careful, you can eat a whole pack before you even know it. That's a nice spot here. What do you know? Look at the way that flag is flying and where the Mizzen's got our bow. I do believe the wind has backed and we've got a fair a reach on the way back as well. Oh, I like it. I think we're going to enjoy that. Now, that is literally going straight up the lake, isn't it? So, yeah, I think we'll get the Spinnaker out and we'll experiment with it. We'll see how well the boat goes with the Spinnaker pulled out, which would be really interesting to work that one out. I've altered the knot, the halyard knot, right at the top. So can you see now the halyard? The gaff is so much straighter. So when this is coming out, look, it'll be straight rather than have that little mess. So I'm really pleased with that. Right, I think we've got everything. I've filled the Mizzen because we're gonna, with the Spinnaker up, I think we'll keep things nice and simple. I've got the retainer ready to go on the boom here, mainsail boom. And I've got the Spinnaker ready to go asymmetrically. I put that little line on that I was using on the flying jib last week, because I think that little line will just raise the Spinnaker up a bit so we can then pull it down a little bit more to torsion it up. So all I've got to do now is weigh the anchor, which you can see is over there now, and we need to kind of sail away. I think we might not have depth here. I might have to do a bit of paddling. That's it. We must have found some kind of little channel, because there we go. We'll just have to ignore the sailing for a minute, get ourselves a bit of sea room. Right, we're free. Oop. That's the centreboard now. Right, here we go. I think that's it, but we're not steering now. That's it. Okay. So when that happens, you have to lift the rod up before we get it stuck, or it starts to give us problems. There we go. Right, I didn't realise how shallow this whole bay is here. We must have weirdly picked some kind of really deeper channel going in there. We'll kind of get on a beam reach. should get us out of here. We're only on the main at the moment, and the reason for that is I've rigged the Spinnaker up asymmetrically on the starboard side. I've just realised I haven't tied the sail on either. I just looked at the time. I can't remember what time. I think it's 1:30. And so we've got a lovely, we've got a couple of hours to reach all the way back. And this wind is nice. Very light, but it's very similar to what we had this morning on the way down here. But it's filling that sail, look. That's baggied up, very baggy. And we're slowly but surely making our way across the lake. We just want a nice good angle. In fact, we can do that now. Let's see. Right, oh gosh, I've cleated that's no good. Right, so as we go round, we want that main to sort of go out a tickle. We want to see where we want to see. Now, this is dangerous for me, but I want to see where the main wants to come over again. Well, that's hopeful, isn't it? Look at that, straight down the lake. Right, well, there we go. I'm going to get this main set up now and we'll aim down the lake and run. Retainer on, so now, you know, I can let that go. I just wrap that around a few times just to stop it getting out of control. Right, I've got my sheet here all on the outside. So now I need to hoist this. Hope it's all hoisted in. It's been put up in the right way. The wind is coming from over here now, which is a problem for us. For running. So we're going to have a change of plan. We're going to have to tack the sail. We'll jibe the sail, and we're just going to have to go for a beam reach. That's all there is to it. Gosh, that's got some power in it. And then on a day like today, you know, it's okay. You don't have to worry too much. But there we go, and we've got that. Yeah, bugger. That has to be on the outside of shrouds and everything. Now, we're going to actually let this retainer go because we're actually going to go on a beam reach now. So let's get rid of that. While I've just got the boat powered down, just get rid of this jib stick. Let's just get that in. There we go. I think what we need to do is get this under control a little bit. And there we go. Let's try it on these cleats. There we go. Woo! Hey! I like that. 3.9 miles an hour. You can see that luffs a bit. So let's just turn off the wind a tickle, see if that helps fill it. Yes, it does. Look at that. You know what? Letting it fly a little up has really helped the sail get that shape. Look at that. And now we can do, maybe, we've got to be very careful here with the boom, but that, pulling it down, was where we got some amazing, whoa, we got some, you have to excuse me, right. We got some amazing, look at that, we got some amazing power through this sail when it was like that. 2.9, I'll take that. Let's release it from there and get it round the back here, and I'm just going to do it ad hoc because I didn't put the cleats in the back, but I'm going to lead this line all the way back. Now we're going to release that and just let the sail open out a tickle. Can you see how when you lead it back, it opens out? It gives it a much more sort of drag along shape. So you can see it luffing there, and I don't want to steer any more to port, so let's just see if we need that a bit tighter. Yeah, there you go. So that needs to go a bit tighter. There we go. How's that looking? We've lost the wind. There's no wind. Look at the flag. So we'll just have to wait for some wind now. So every time I loosen this off a little, so I can just do it manually here and let the sail, you won't be able to see on that camera, but just let the sail have a little bit more slack. All that happens is we see a bit of luffing on the luff. Now I don't know whether that's because the wind is the limit, so you know, if we had a bit more wind, the sail would take that, but because it hasn't got the wind, it can't fill the sail there, which is why you tighten it up a little. But we are doing 2.5 miles an hour now with pretty much no wind. So look, the line has almost gone slack, so let's tighten it up a bit. Oh. No, we've got no wind now. That is one big sail though, isn't it, really, when you look at it? Look at that. Look at that compared to the jib. That is Bruce, isn't it? It's brilliant. £15 that cost me. I think it's buy of the season that was last season, wasn't it, really? It was, yeah. Very good buy. Look at this. We have gone. Look, this is Kangawa Bay here. So, we're moving, aren't we? Look, we're moving. 2 miles an hour. I think if we douse that sail, we'd be nowhere near that, would we? I have had more than 1 or 2 people comment about the shackles that I'm using on the tack there, and yeah, they are big old shackles, aren't they? And someone's actually said you need to really tie that on. I'm going to actually take this big shackle off and see if we can just tie this bowline straight on, see if it makes any difference. So there you go, I've just got a bowline on there, I think, and that shackle, you know what, it's a meaty old shackle, that. So maybe if I use those little clippy things that I've got like on here, that might be a compromise. It's lovely and peaceful, isn't it? So I've poled out the Spinnaker, there you go. Pole's probably a tickle on the big side, but my speed has gone from like almost under a mile an hour to 2. And we're running now. And the main is out as far as probably you want it to go. I'm going to just pull the main a little bit because it's a little bit saggy around there. So I'm just going to try and adjust that bit there. So I've just adjusted that 4 inches back. Just takes it off the shroud here. But the other thing we can do to take that off the shroud is just tie that a tickle like that. And then just maybe cleat that there. Well, that's cool. Look at that, 1.9 miles an hour. Let's go get Mizzen back up, see if we can get a bit more speed. I'm trying to sit in the middle of the boat, a little bit more in the middle at least. There's so little wind that it can alter how the boat sits in the water. So that's don't like that luffy bit there. Mainsail set perfectly, and one mizzen as well, just there. And we're getting 2.1. No discernible 2.2. No discernible 2.3. No discernible gusts or wind change. Oh, maybe now there is. Oh yeah, there is, yeah. Let's fiddle with that bit. Oh, hello. Hello. So altering that, now you can see why you need that stick, maybe a little bit of a downhaul to it. But that, whoop, we need, where's that wind come from? That's where we need this, there. We are getting, that sail is nice and filled, look at that now. Ah, no wind again, wind's gone. But, you know, I don't know whether this is how you're supposed to use that sail, but if it works, doesn't it, to be honest with you? And I'm finding my way with it. Every time I use that Spinnaker, I learn something. And as far as I'm concerned, that's just a big old bag grabbing a load of wind there, look. There's a little gust. We got 2.9 then. There it is. 3. .1. So this wind is, if anything, we've got less breeze. It was forecast less breeze, but we are motoring along at 3 miles an hour. On the way out here, we had a little bit more breeze, but we were getting about 2.5, 2.4, and then we kind of had that happy medium. We were around the 2.2. I think 2.5 was when we got a little gust, wasn't it? But yeah, I'm really happy with this. This is progress. This is leisurely lugger progress, you know, with a chance of keeping up with people. The tiniest, faintest little puff, and we got up to 3.3 very quickly. You can see from the flag how little wind there is, but look at that, still pulling us along at 2.5 knots, miles an hour, beg your pardon. So I think there's a few things to make a note of here. I've just pulled this down in the slightly stronger wind. I've pulled this a couple of inches, the Spinnaker sheet, and it brought the bar or the pole down almost 90 degrees, and it definitely put a couple of points on the speed. Also, look how much nicer the sail is, the shape of that. No crease from being twisted. So I've got to remember about that halyard knot at the top, because it's a bit of a chunky knot, that. Good knot though. I've literally never not undone that the whole season, to be honest with you. I'm glad Steve Porteous, go check his YouTube channel out. He told me about that knot. There's not an awful lot about sailing that guy doesn't know, so I've taken quite a lot of advice from him, and that's certainly one of the good ones. For me, this is beautiful, because if you can do, you know, 2.5 knots, maybe 3 knots, it wouldn't take much more breeze to get us up to 3 knots, I don't think. Let me look, we're doing 2.8 now. If we can get 3.5 knots with wind like this, that's perfect, absolutely perfect. That's what I want, and that's what I want this boat to do, you know. I need this boat to sort of go, I don't want to go fast, you know, and I don't want to be heeling over and, you know, on the edge all the while. That's not the idea. I just want a boat that will go in light weather and will cruise and will do a speed, you know. I think I've just got to use a few tricks that we've got up our sleeves and we should be okay. It almost reminds me of the early days with the mirror, and we used to beat all the way down, usually to the enchanted forest, didn't we? And then we used to run all the way back, goose wing or goose foot. I used to call it goose foot until I found out it was goose wing or wing on wing. I'm used to wing on wing all the way back, and of course the mirror will you sneeze and the mirror's doing 4 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour. I'm used to get back so quickly. I got these fond memories of beating all hell for leather, and the weather never seemed to be that great. I don't know why. And then reaching back in the sun, and it was beautiful. And this reminds me of that. The first time we've wing on winged in Lulu, all the way back down the lake. You can see, look, these little ripples and gusts. And they do sort of very slowly, gently come and push us along. But then you get stuck in one of these. Look at this. Ooh, proper ripple, proper mesmerising water here. Look at that. Oh, I just realised I've got the speed in knots. Thought we were doing very well. It's in knots. It's 2.8. Oh, we're doing 2. Yeah, we're doing we're going like the clappers with very little wind. What I'm also really pleased about is the Mizzen. Look at the Mizzen. It's great, isn't it? If anything, that stick is a tickle too long, but you can see the Mizzen's catching wind, and I'm sure that Mizzen is pushing us along quite nicely. In fact, what I might do is put it away now and see if it does make a difference. I've just let the Mizzen fly, you can see it behind me, and we've instantly lost about 0.3. I think we were merrily going at 2.5, and we dropped instantly when I dropped the pole to 2.2, and we're just gaining a bit more now, but I think that's just the wind's just puffed up a bit. There's buoy 8 going merrily by. Yeah, so Mizzen does give you a bit of puff, but you've got to get it in the right shape. That is progress. We're nearly at the adventure centre. Our moorings are like here, almost off our starboard beam. Oh, a little scared duck there. Sorry, little fella. Oh my God, I've thoroughly enjoyed today. I think, other than my sea trips, this has almost been the best day. It's been beautiful. You know, I'm very happy to do 3 miles an hour in no, you know, very light winds, and really have a go with these sails, and it's just been amazing. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope anyone that's got a lugger or a boat similar, you know, is learning from this as well, you know, because I want to make this boat go quicker, and I want to experiment with her, but I want to do it safely as well. I think I've pretty much made my mind up about the roached main. I'm not going to get the roached main, and I don't know whether I'm going to bother with a flying jib. I mean, that's got to be, I think that's really for beating, because why would I need anything else if I've got my pole and my spinnaker like this? Look at this. Look at us go. There's no wind. There's no wind today. It's crazy. Okay, we're gonna get going. I'm gonna keep the sheet in that line, but we're gonna release this. Oh, come here. We're gonna worry about that later. We're gonna bring that in a tickle to take the retainer off. Wait, quick. And we're gonna there we go. What's happening with that? There we go. Now, I think when we're beam reaching, this is where things have got extremely quick. This is where we need to pull the sail down. So let's get the mainsail where I want it. Okay, and then let's try and quickly get this. Use this racing cleat. There we go. Awesome. Let's get the other camera. I've probably depowered this sail a little bit, but look at this. We're doing 4 miles an hour, 4.1, and look at the shape of that. I think that's great. I wonder if, you know, we need to have these cleats back, so it's more like that than there. But you can't argue with that, can you? 3 miles an hour on the run, and then 4 on the reach back. I think it is. Look, the shape is wrong on that, so I think you need to. In fact, I'd almost say, let's try and bring that back here. Whoop. Let's try and sit in the middle of the boat again. I'd almost say, there, look, it's perfect. A little bit out, a little bit more out, yeah, there we go. You have to remember, it's not an asymmetric sail, it's a symmetric sail, so you're never going to get the foot and the luff. You're never going to get them straight and really filled out, are you? I don't think. So, anyway, look at this. Glorious. What a glorious day. It's just been a glorious day. I can't believe it. But we've got to pack up. All good things come to an end. So I think we're gonna heave to ish, and we're going to call it a day. In fact, before we do that, let's try and heave to with this sail. Let's not. Let's quit while we're ahead. So moorings are over there. We're just turning into them now, and we're going to call it a day here, I think.